So MLB.com's got their predictions up for the division winners, according to Matt Kelly, who wrote the articles. So let's start with the AL East. They have obviously the New York Yankees winning the division. Fair or foul?
I'm on the fence for that one because it's a shortened season. I know the Yankees dominate, late, especially late in the season. But I wouldn't count out the Boston Red Sox because they're still a really good team, even though that they don't have Mookie Betts anymore. And I think the Jays could keep it close as much as possible. So I'm on the fence for that one. It's fair that the Yankees always dominate. Especially at the end of the year, but I wouldn't count out the Red Sox. I think they're going to make some impact as well.
I think the prediction is fair. The Yankees' offense is probably what does it for me. I mean, in the short season, that offense, if it stays healthy, can just destroy pitching. The pitching staff's still pretty good, even with Tanaka and Severino out. Cole and Paxton have had a strong second half. That's pretty good rotation, and they got a great bullpen. Let's go to the AL Central. They got the Minnesota Twins winning the division. Fair or foul?
Again, I'm on the fence for that one because I think the White Sox could be a competitor for the Twins. I don't think this is going to be a runaway for the Minnesota Twins. I think the White Sox with their, great offensive additions, I think they're going to keep it close with the Minnesota Twins. The Twins are a good offensive team. They have a great lineup and a good pitching staff. And I do think that they could end up winning the division.
I think this is foul. I don't like the Minnesota Twins pitching staff. They added Rich Hill. I mean, that's not exactly a marquee name. They obviously added Josh Donaldson to the lineup, but that lineup's older. I mean, they hit record home runs last year, but whoop-de-doo. Something I don't trust about that team going into this season. I think the Cleveland Indians are going to win this division. I like their young starting staff. Jose Ramirez looks like he's probably healthier this year, and he was having a great second half. I like their lineup. I don't like that the Minnesota Twins. I don't think they can replicate what they did last year, especially in a shortened season. Let's go to the AL West. So the prediction there is the Houston Astros repeating as division winners. Fair or foul?
Unfortunately, I think they may win this division in the AL West. With the controversy that has happened, last season, I think they're still a pretty good offensive team. Without any fans sitting in the stands, there's not going to be any booing going around or any garbage can banging.
What do you mean? We're going to be able to hear the garbage cans more than ever now. It's a booming echo.
Well, that's if the
other side of the street.
That is the janitors are taking out the trash. Oakland might keep it close. They could make a late run.
Yeah, I give this a fair. I think the Oakland and the Angels in a short season might challenge for that division. But the Astros, they still got Verlander and Greinke, and some other young arms, and their bullpen's pretty solid. And I love their lineup. It's still a good lineup. Then they have a full year of Carlos Correa, healthy Carlos Correa. But people forget that All-Star was missing most of the year last year. So I still think they got a chip on their shoulder to prove people wrong. Obviously, my Angels, they added Anthony Rendon, Julio Teheran, a bunch of pitching. Shohei Ohtani, we don't know what he's going to be like. He might blow up in the first week of the season for all we know. That division is going to be interesting to watch. So MLB.com's got the NL East winners not determined. They have the Braves and Nationals tying for the division and having a tiebreaker, and the winner or the loser becoming the wild card team. So do you give this a fair or foul?
A fair for the Nationals. They are defending champions. They're still riding high from their momentum from the previous year. I do think that the Nationals will win the division. The Braves might keep it close. So definitely the Nationals all the way to the end.
Yeah, fair for me. I was thinking about this too. The Braves, they lost Donaldson. The Markakis opted out of the season. They got all young players, so you're losing some veteran presence. The Nationals won the World Series, obviously. They have a great top three starting staff: Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin. Still, I mean, they lost Rendon, but they get a DH now, right? So they can replace that bat with anybody, with a bunch of guys in the lineup. They added Starling Castro, Eric Thames, I believe. So their offense should still be good. Juan Soto will carry them, but that staff is too good in that division. The Mets might be a dark horse. They do have a pretty good staff if they're healthy. But for right now, yeah, the Nationals, you can't count out the World Series champions. Let's see, the NL Central, they have the Chicago Cubs winning. Fair or foul?
I give it a foul. I think the Brewers might take it. They're still an exciting team from the previous season. Although they lost Chase Anderson to the Blue Jays. But I think the Brewers are still going to make an impact in this division. The Cubs might challenge them for that division crown. So again, it's going to be a very close race between the two. But I give the Brewers a much better advantage here. Their offense is amazing. Pitching is still pretty decent, but I do think that they'll walk away with this division.
I give this 100% foul. This seems like some sort of writer's bias. I mean, Chicago Cubs I don't know why they think this team is so great still. It's like they won the World Series 5 years ago. Like, get over it. Like, Yu Darvish is their only good pitcher. Everybody else is older on that team. They've lost some guys in the bullpen. I mean, their offense doesn't scare me. I think you ready for this? I think the Cincinnati Reds are going to win this division. I love their starting staff. I mean, they got Trevor Bauer, Sonny Gray, Luis Castillo, who's their ace, Desclafani. Like, that's a great depth starting staff. And they got some good guys in the bullpen. They even added Pedro Strop from the Cubs. Their lineup's got a lot of good young players like Nick Senzel. They added Moustakas from the Brewers. They're going to surprise teams, I think. The NL West prediction, everyone's predictions, and Los Angeles Dodgers will win the division, probably win the World Series according to most. I mean, fair or foul?
Well, as much as I'm a Diamondbacks fan, my friend, I do think the Dodgers will win the division here. They're, like I said, they're still one of the teams that are riding high from last season, even though that they lost in the division series. Their offense is still good. Pitching, still got Kershaw in there, and they got Walker Buehler. I think they're going to dominate. They're probably going to run away with this division. I don't think the Diamondbacks will finish like close to like third or something like that. I do think that the Dodgers will probably walk away with this division.
Yeah, this is obviously fair. I mean, you added Mookie Betts to your team, and you already got Kershaw, Buehler, Dustin May, a young up-and-coming pitcher, and you have a lot of good young hitters. I mean, this team is stacked. Like, if they win the World Series, they should probably win the World Series just to get that monkey off their back. I mean, yes, they're going to have an asterisk next to their name if they do succeed in the World Series. Arizona's got a pretty good team. They might surprise everybody if they add Madison Bumgarner add to that staff. So the wild card winners, they have predicted the San Diego Padres and the loser of the Nationals Braves tiebreaker. So do you give that a fair or foul?
Honestly, my friend, I do think it's foul that the Padres may not win the wild card. I do think that this NL wild card race is going to be like a scramble, like in a 6-man or whatever scramble match, for a championship title. I do think that there's a lot of teams in the National League that can take this wild card away. We got the Padres, we got could be the Braves, it could be the Cincinnati Reds, it could be the Brewers as well. We'll never know. This is going to be a mad scramble till the end. Anything can happen, I think, in this wild card race. But like my pick for this one is probably if the Brewers don't take the wild card, don't take the division, they could take the wild card.
Yeah, I think this is a fair. I kind of like the Padres from the beginning of it for the shortened season. I do like that they have a good young staff. I love all their guys. Chris Paddock leading the charge there, and they're hitting. They should have the lineup should be stronger this year. I think Machado didn't have the kind of year he wanted to after signing that big deal. Tatis Jr. is such an exciting one of the most exciting young players I think in baseball. But yeah, the Nationals Braves loser, which we both agree would be probably the Nationals would win the division. So yeah, the Braves or even the Brewers. I think this one's going to be a more unpredictable wild card race, just because there's so many teams that seem more even than the AL. But yeah, these predictions for the most part are fair, but there are a few foul ones in there. and I'm sure we'll see a lot of them during the season. They have the AL wild card winners as being the Indians and the Rays. Fair or foul?
I'm on the fence for the Cleveland Indians. Fair because they're an exciting team. They got a good young pitching staff. I also think that the White Sox could be in that mix as well. I think the AL wild card is going to be highly competitive more than anything. The Rays also a good option. I wouldn't count them out as well. But to me, I think this AL wildcard race is going to be a central division battle, as opposed to putting the West and the East there in that challenge. So I do think the Indians or the White Sox could win that.
Yeah, you know what? I give it fair to any team that anybody puts in a wild card spot, because it's such a short season that anything can happen. And this, unlike last year, where like I don't know, 8 teams were completely out of it by like June. Anybody can make it now, to me. So anybody that you think is going to could win the wild card should be fair. I think the Angels might actually end up being one of the wild card teams, and definitely the Rays or Yankees, whoever loses the division in the East, will probably be a wild card team.